Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine in Flora. So today I am doing a super easy seed starting project. And as you probably saw in one of my last videos, I did some winter sowing, which is also a really easy way to start seeds. I'll make sure to link that video at the end of this video, but if you haven't done any seed starting that way, it's a really hands-off way to start seeds. But today is also a really easy way to start seeds. I'm gonna be starting them in this little meal tray that I got from Walmart. Now there's a couple different reasons I am doing this. One, most of my seed starting trays are 72 cell, and this packet of seeds is just a 50 seed packet. I also know that I'm going to be planting these seeds up once, if not two different times. So starting them intensively in a tray will be a really easy way to get some growth on them, transplant them up into their first container, and then transplant them up into their second container. And you're probably wondering, why the heck are you going to transplant them a couple times? These are perennial seeds. These are a columbine barlow mix. And I'm starting these really early in the season because I want to be able to grow them in their containers to pot them up to get some really sizable growth on them before I actually plant them out in the garden. I also will not be harvesting off of these for cut flowers this year. A lot of times when you start perennials from seed, you need to wait a year to actually harvest off of them because those perennials need to really develop their roots and develop growth on the plant before you harvest off of them. In fact, peonies and some other shrubs, you need to wait 3 years to harvest. So I'm starting this perennial today. It will grow on in the garden this year and I will harvest it next year. One of the reasons I really want to grow this perennial is because it blooms in the early spring, and it is always helpful to have a variety of plants early in the spring before your summer crop is ready. But anyway, let's get started. So first of all, before I was ready to even start these seeds, they needed to have a cold stratification period of at least 5 days. So I put these in my refrigerator, I think for about a week, and now they are ready to be started. And today I'm going to be using this organic Espoma seed starting mix. I have a little bit left from last year. And what I'm gonna do, it is so dry. Typically, I pre-moisten my seed starting mix in a big container before I do my seed starting when I'm loading up my trays. When I'm putting it in these little containers, I can just moisten it right in here. So I'm putting about a 1/2 inch of soil in my container, and then I'm going to use my mister. This mister is awesome. I will link it down below in the video description. I am just going to saturate this soil with my mister. Then I'm going to do another layer. This container does not have holes on the bottom, which is completely fine. All right, and then I'm going to go over it again. Okay, I'll give a minute for the water to soak in. One of the things I like about using these meal containers to do seed starting is they all come with these plastic clear lids. A lot of times when you're starting seeds in like those styrofoam meat trays, you have to put saran wrap around them. And saran wrap works really good, but sometimes it's a little hard to work with. So if you can get these meal trays that are at least 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep, that is plenty of soil to hold. The lid snaps right on for the humidity dome, and it is just so much easier. You definitely have to make sure you have a clear lid because you need the light to go through. All right, so my seed starting medium is ready. Again, this is just a 50 seed packet. The directions on the back say to sow 8 to 10 weeks before your average last frost date. And again, I'm much earlier than that, but I want to be able to transplant them up into some larger containers. Transplanting is recommending versus direct seeding, so I'm good on that. These are a very slow germinating plant, so it can take 3 weeks to maybe a month for these to germinate. They want to germinate at that 70 to 75 degree temperature. So if your room is not at that temperature, you want to make sure to put them on a heat mat, which that's what I'm going to be doing. Now it says to barely cover these seeds, so they need light to germinate. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to top the soil with a little bit of vermiculite. That's not going to cover the seeds so that they don't get that light, but it really helps with moisture retention of the soil. So I'm going to empty my seed packet because I'm using all of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle them here and there, kind of spaced out over the entire container. And I would zoom in, but these seeds are so small, you're never going to be able to see me drop them on top of the soil anyway. So I'm just going to kind of spread them out across the whole container, dropping them right on top of the soil. Drop one on my counter. They're easy to spot on my white counter. Okay. Then I'm just going to do a light mist on top of them to settle them on the soil. The soil is saturated enough. There we go. You don't want water pooling or anything. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of vermiculite on top. This is the fine vermiculite. There we go. I'll put a close-up picture up on the screen of what this looks like. And now all we're going to do is pop the lid on, and this is going to be the humidity dome. We're going to set it on the heat mat downstairs, and we'll wait to see them germinate. So that is it. That is my super easy seed starting project for today. Watch for my upcoming videos because some of the next ones will be a full tour of my grow room downstairs, including my hydroponic tulips that I am growing. And then next week, I think I'm going to be ready to share all of the varieties of flowers that I'm growing this season, along with my full garden plans. That's also coming very soon. So anyway, stay tuned for all of that and a lot more throughout the winter. Of course, we will see you soon.